name of my company is Image Design. I hope everyone leaves here today inspired to try some new colors and color combinations. We're going to be talking about today is your best colors, how to add color to your wardrobe, to your life, finding your best color palette. I'm going to be sharing how I do my virtual color consultations, which is something that I started during the pandemic. And as you'll see, it works out really well. And I also want to talk about color combinations, because obviously we don't just wear one color at a time. Maybe we do like the monochrome look, but there are always other pieces that we want to add, whether it's a sweater, a jacket, a pattern, or some accessories. We're going to start off talking about the different color palettes and talking about how to find your best colors. Again, contrasting colors, examples and demonstrations. I do have Deborah, who had volunteered to have her virtual colors done online. And then if we have time, talk a little bit about color trends and the meanings of color. The first aspect of it is the color itself. So that would be the hue. So, think about whether it's yellow or blue or orange or green. That's going to be the hue, the color itself. Now, any color, it's basically the colors of the rainbow plus any combinations of them provide the hue. Black, white, and gray are not hues themselves. They're actually used to create different shades and tints of tones of the basic colors, which I'm going to show you how that works in a second. I just want to mention, when choosing colors for yourself, I mean, ladies, at this point, we do know which colors are more flattering for us and which are less flattering. But I don't want you to think that there are certain colors that you absolutely, totally can't wear, because there may be a certain tone of that color that's not going to be flattering, but there are so many variations within these different hues that there's a good chance that you can find one that works for you. The value of a color is its brightness. And this is where you're going to try to match up to your coloration the pieces that you choose. So we all have a certain level of brightness in our features. And you want to measure the level of brightness in your colors with what you have in your features. And it's easier if I show you some pictures of that. I just want to tell you what's going to go into this first. And then the third thing is the saturation. So that's the intensity of the color. So if you think about certain colors are very clear, very true, like a true red, and then think about maybe a muted, and it's not, I don't really have so many examples on this color wheel itself, but you could see like how this blue is a little bit more muted than, say, the yellow or the orange. So the intensity of those colors are going to be less or more, and that's also going to be factored into how the color looks on you. And then lastly is whether a color is neutral, warm, or cool. And so when we talk about our own features and the undertones in our skin, everyone falls into one of these three categories. You may be warm, in which case you have peach or amber or even like an orangey undertone to your skin. And this would be the color of makeup that you gravitate towards. This would be how you have your hair colored. If you do highlights in your hair, chances are they're more warm. Lowlights would be more cool. And so if you have cool coloring, you would show up more as red or blue. You could wear a true red lipstick. You would go with the maybe even a brown or a red, or not so much of a coral blush. That would be more for the warm tones. And then some people are in the neutral category, so they're neither warm nor cool. They have a wider range of colors that they can wear. And what's going to happen with what you find in the stores is each year, the Color Authority, Pantone, and there are others as well, but they come out with colors 2 or 3 years in advance that they say, oh, this is what's going to be popular for 2024. And for this year, and I have a couple slides about this coming up, is the color Peach Fuzz, which is like a light peachy color. So when you go shopping, you're not going to be able to find obviously all these different colors in the store. There are going to be certain colors that are going to be shown for that season. And sometimes they're going to be flattering for you and sometimes not so much. But what I would suggest is if it's a season where they do have the colors that are flattering, try to pick up a couple pieces that are colors that work for you. And if you don't see anything that works for you, just skip. Unfortunately, this is me telling you this, but just skip, the shopping for that season, because you definitely don't want to have things that are not going to work for your coloration. So what I do when I do my virtual color analysis is I created these slides, and I did this before the pandemic, because before that I was just always doing the color analyses in person, but I find that this works just as well. This first one is a determiner slide. So this I use to determine if the person I'm working with has warm tones or cool tones in their skin. You can see that the colors on the left are cool, the black, the gray, the white, the pink. These are all going to be more flattering for cooler tones. And then on the right, we have the tan. This is more of an ivory, the orange, and the brown. And these are all more of the warmer tones. These are what we call the spring colors. So who said they were a spring? Catherine. Okay. The spring colors you can see are light, are bright, and they're warm. This is the spring red. It's a little more orangey than the true winter red. This spring blue is a bright blue. I mean, to me, these almost look like the Easter egg colors. We have this light purple. This, if you have true spring coloring, this is going to be really flattering. The same with the yellow. The lemon yellow is going to look really nice on a true spring because her coloring is going to be warm and light. And then this is the peach. This is the peach fuzz. This is great for spring, but it's pretty much of a neutral color. It's actually going to be flattering for most, and this is the color for the color of the year for 2024. So this is the spring palette. So these are the summer colors. So Rochelle, do any of these resonate with you? This is the summer red. It's a softer version of the true red. The summer colors are going to be muted. They're soft, but they're cool. So you're not going to have the yellows. You're not going to have the real like bright emerald greens. You're going to have this. It's more of a softer green. I mean, there are certainly a number of colors that summer people can wear, but you just can't go all out with brightness and depth and saturation.
Yeah, the word muted is something that I have heard a lot whenever I'm looking for something, a outfit or something in a certain color, that the muted tone will look better on me. So that's exactly what I.
Yeah, I mean, you
what I
probably
hear.
get tired of it after a while, but it is what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
even, your coloration is going to stay the same throughout your life. I mean, we can change our hair, we can change our eyebrows, we can change up our makeup, but the basic undertones of your skin are going to stay the same. So you may be able to switch out colors and get a little brighter, a little deeper, a little lighter within the season, but it's really just going to always be the same.
And I also avoid white and black, as somebody else was saying. I just feel like I'm invisible if I wear, a little black dress, so to speak. I don't feel like I look my best.
No, I agree. I could see that. And you're certainly good with the ivory or more of a, like a stone or like a pale rosy color. But yeah, pure white is not going to be great. This would be a nice color for you and for any summer. It's like a taupey color. It's a very nice neutral, and it goes well with any of the other tones here. And pink is a good one. And pink is big now. So pink is a good one. As far as your dress, I mean, if you don't want to do a little black dress,
What about navy?
navy's good.
Black. Yeah.
Yeah, navy's good.
A muted navy. Yeah.
Navy is pretty much of a universal color, actually. Navy is flattering for most, but yeah, navy is a really good neutral. Periwinkle blue. Thank you, Patty. Yeah, so that was I guess on the other side, and that's periwinkle. How is still the periwinkle is the only color that works for all palettes. Periwinkle does work for all palettes. I would say navy does as well. And believe it or not, the peachy, or almost like a peachy coral, is going to be a flattering color for most. And along with ivory, even if you can wear pure white, ivory is still going to be an option for you. But not everyone can wear the pure white, but everyone can wear some version of the ivory. All right, so that's the summer. And then next we get into the fall or autumn, and you can see these colors are just a lot deeper. They have the warmth to them that the spring colors had. They're deeper, but they're muted in their own way. So even though they have the saturation, like take a look at this purple, you know, it's a very deep purple, but it still is muted because it's not real super bright. It's not really jumping out at you, but it's a beautiful, deep, rich color. So these are the autumn colors. And you can see, you know, when they develop the Color Me Beautiful, the different seasonal palettes do resonate with the different seasons. So you can see these are colors that you might see in the fall, you know, the red leaves, you know, orange and yellow, the green of the trees as they're, you know, changing their shade. So there is some relevance to the season for whatever it's called. As far as the autumn colors, yeah, this is more of a muted brown. A teal blue is a beautiful color for autumns. The
Is
purple.
is that a teal blue?
This is teal, yeah.
Oh, it is, because it looked like it looked different on my screen, so that's why I asked.
Okay, yeah, yeah. No, it's yeah, everyone probably sees this a little bit differently. And that's why when I do a color analysis, I do send, you know, I do send the client an actual sheet that they can use. It's like a photo of different colors. But yeah, so these are the autumn colors, like a kind of a mustardy yellow, not too deep, but a little bit of a mustardy yellow, the orange, olive.
What color would you call that red? Is that, 'cause, I mean, I call it an orange red.
This one?
The red that's here.
Yeah, I would call it an orange red. Yeah, but it's a deeper orange red. It's not the bright orange red from the spring. It's a deeper
No,
orange red.
no, no.
Yeah, so it's more of an orange red, yeah. Okay, and then lastly, we have the winter colors, which probably look familiar to a number of us. Dorothy, you said that you had been determined to be a winter. I'm a winter, Pat's a winter. So winters have deeper coloring between their hair. They may have stronger eyebrows, cooler skin, and there may also be more contrast between their hair and their skin. And the winter people can wear these brighter, more saturated, more, you know, vibrant, dramatic colors. So that includes this royal blue, that includes this bright pink, yellow, if you're so inclined. This is the winter red, and the winter red is a true red. It's not the orange red, it's a true red. Neon green, purple, regular orange, green. So yeah, every palette has a lot of different colors in it. It's just finding the tone that works for you.
Sharon, this is Peggy. Quick question. What color skin tone would that person have on winter?
They would have a cool skin tone, and chances are darker hair and darker features, because the summer has the cool skin tone as well, but the summer is lighter. All right, so let's take a look at Deborah and see what we can determine here. I mean, I'm looking at you in the middle, I'm looking at the black, I'm looking at the gray, I'm looking at the tan, I'm looking at the brown. Absolutely the warm tones. Yes, absolutely,
Yeah.
Dorothy, I agree. So yeah, you can see the warm tones are going to be more flattering. The tan, the ivory, the orange, the brown, all of these are good colors for you. And even if you look at what you're wearing in the picture, you're wearing, you know, like an amber colored top, corally colored lipstick. So yeah, so that definitely indicates the warm tones.
Yeah, I mean, I rarely I will wear black on top, but not that often. And
Okay,
if I wear a black top, then or a black dress, then I have to have a full face of makeup, and usually I'll wear some kind of a scarf that's bright to soften it.
that's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah, if you're gonna do black, you want to do something that's gonna soften it, and the makeup will, sounds like it'll neutralize a little bit the warmth in your skin tone. So yeah. And also if you wear jewelry, you want to do more of the gold jewelry, especially
Yeah,
the-
I don't. I rarely ever wear silver because it's just too. It just doesn't seem flattering.
Yeah, yeah, no, I agree. So the warmer tones, which would be spring and fall, I would suggest gravitating towards gold jewelry. I mean, obviously, we all have a variety of, jewelry in our wardrobe, but generally silver is better for the cool tones, which are winter and summer. And gold is better for the warm tones, which are spring and fall. Okay, so we've determined that you're warm toned. Let's take a look at how you fare with this is the spring palette. No, you're shaking your head, no. If we were in person and if you put on one of these colors, I'd be able to really see the grimace on your face. You can, I mean, I think it's obvious to everyone. The colors are too bright. They're too, they're too soft. They don't really have enough depth in them for Deborah's complexion and features. So yeah, so we're not gonna do the spring. This is the summer. Some of these could work. I could see you with that blue up on top.
That's a periwinkle, right?
Yes,
Yes,
that's
I can get away with a periwinkle, and I can get away with that orangey color, that like apricot color.
the one right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see, yeah, I was gonna say that would be a good color for you. Yeah, the red, this particular red is not gonna work. It's gonna be too soft. And most of these others, like this pale blue, it's just not gonna show up. It's just not gonna be enough oomph for you.
What is the color at the bottom, underneath that blue?
This one?
Yeah.
That was a taupe. It's like a soft taupe. It's
'Cause
a brownish gray.
Usually I can wear a taupe. I can't do gray, but I can usually wear a taupe.
Mhm. If you were gonna do taupe though, I would suggest doing something a little darker than that. So let's take a look at the fall. This is the autumn. So yeah, so you could see really just as soon as I put the screen up, you can really see your features are like you're popping.
Yeah.
The colors are flattering, they're bringing out your hair, they're bringing out your skin tone. This would be your red.
Right.
Do you wear red sometimes, right?
Very rarely can I find the right shade of red. So if it's an orange red, I can wear it, but if it has the blue undertones, then I can't.
Right.
And most reds have the blue undertones.
This purple,
That purple I love.
this is a beautiful color for you, yeah.
Yeah,
But-
if I can find it, I usually often look for like an aubergine. So even a little darker.
Yes, yeah, so that's a good color. This blue is beautiful. Well, yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that's the thing. Some of the seasons, the colors just show up in the stores more often. So I know the winter colors are usually pretty easy to find. I would say the spring colors are usually pretty easy, especially in the spring and the summer. The summer tones are hard, and the fall, sometimes they show up in mass, and that's when you have to really do your shopping, but a lot of times they're just not in the stores at all. Autumn colors were best for Deborah. This is the winter tones. They're too bright, they're too much, and they're too cool. So yeah. So that's how it works with the color analysis. Any questions about that, or else I want to just talk about contrast a little bit. So when you're thinking about your colors, you have these great colors in your wardrobe. You want to believe that they all go with each other. And in the absolute sense, they do, because they're all part of the same color palette. But when you put them on and start mixing colors, I'd like you to start also thinking about the contrast that you have between your hair, your eyes, your eyebrows, and your skin. And contrast, I divided up between high contrast, medium, and low contrast. And basically what you want to do is mirror the contrast that you have in your facial features with your clothing. Because what's going to happen if you're a low contrast person like this woman on the right here, and you show up wearing a high contrast outfit, which black and white is going to be the most high contrast there is, the outfit is going to be too loud for you, even if those are flattering colors for you. So when you're thinking about contrast, we'll start over here with the high contrast. This gentleman has very dark, if not black hair, light, not super light skin, but it's pretty light. And then his facial hair actually adds to the high contrast as well. If you're a low contrast person, you can bring in more contrast through your makeup. You can have more dramatic blush. You can certainly have bright or deep lipstick. You can, play up the drama in your eyes. And we can all, play around with our hair color. So you can definitely adjust your contrast. But whatever you are at the particular time, that's what you need to be thinking of as far as mixing colors. And so that could either be with pieces or it could be with patterns. And years ago, when I started my business, I taught some classes at the adult school in Chatham in New Jersey. And there was a good turnout. We had maybe 15 to 20 people. I taught one class a semester. And what I did at the end of the class was I had everybody stand up and we got in order of low contrast to high contrast. So everyone could see there was a range and, you know, they could see where they fit into the range. And so that's what I'm trying to do here with the pictures. You know, this gentleman is high contrast. The young woman in the middle is medium contrast. She has medium brown hair. She has light pink lips. She has pale, but not super pale skin. She has, you know, blue eyes. Her eyebrows are somewhat well defined. So I would call her medium contrast. And then lastly, here we have the low contrast, and that's someone with pale hair, light skin, light eyes, and then conversely, someone who is African-American or has very dark skin, but if they have the dark skin, dark hair, dark eyes, that would be low contrast as well. So when you're thinking about mixing your clothes, think about what level of contrast you have. So this is more of a medium contrast top. You can see it has a variety of different colors in it, but the colors all kind of blend together and it's not really a high contrast look. Plus the fact that the top itself is sheer, so that makes it not really super saturated with the color. Something like this would be a high contrast look. And if some of these pieces look familiar, I may have used them in my my statement piece webinar. So this is a white sweater with little black bows. You know, it's high contrast. It's the white with the black. Another example of white with black would be obviously if you're wearing a white blouse with a black jacket, a black sweater. For a guy, it would be a black suit, a white shirt, a black tie. So that's all the high contrast. So this is an example of the piece itself being high contrast. A medium contrast would be, and again, this may look familiar as well, but this is the gray with black. So it's not a high contrast. I would call it a medium contrast, but it's kind of medium to high because it is a light gray and it has the, you know, the black design and it really stands out. But if these colors are flattering for you, and you have medium contrast, then this would be a great piece. If you are mixing items, and this is a navy top, a navy sweater. I know it probably looks black or it looks very dark in the slide. It's a Ted Baker. It's a little short sleeve sweater. I like it because you can throw it on over anything, but I'm showing it with a light blue because this is just an example of a medium contrast. So it's the light blue with the navy, or this could even be a medium blue over it, and that would be a medium contrast, as opposed to the blue with the red this is more of a high contrast. You know, or if it were black, it would be the same. So that's more of a high contrast. And you could also have the darker piece on the inside. If you were doing black and white, you could certainly have a black top with a white sweater or a white jacket, and that would be high contrast as well. So I just wanted to show you some of those examples. Let me go back to share my screen. Any questions on the contrast?
So Sharon, I'm just curious, for somebody like myself who's fair, but I mean, I have blue eyes and I don't have that well-defined eyebrows, but I think of myself more medium, but do you think I'm more low?
I would say low. You're more low, but as someone pointed out, when you do your makeup, it gets higher.
Higher, yeah, okay.
Yeah, because I
Okay.
see pictures of you on Facebook and everything with the makeup, it gets to be closer to a medium.
I do actually, I think we're high contrast things, so that's why I was like, interesting. I do like more. I do have some high contrast, not a lot, but I do have some. More in probably the medium range is probably mostly what I
More
have.
in the medium range,
Yeah,
yeah. And I mean, it also has to do, with, your personality and your
Yes.
physical presence, because
Yeah.
you can dress for your features, but when I work with clients, I really talk to them first to determine their style, determine their presence basically. And I mean, some people like to have more excitement, more drama, more energy flowing around them. And then in that case, the black and white, even though maybe it's not, a perfect match for your lower to medium contrast, is a good fit for you to wear. So, yeah, so a lot goes into it. I'm always analyzing everything for better or worse. It's probably not so great for me, but I'm always overanalyzing things. But yeah, I like to take all of that stuff into consideration when I'm making suggestions for somebody.
So Sharon, what would you say then about like an ivory and black? Like for me, because I can't do white.
Ivory and black would still be, it's a high contrast. I mean, it's not as high as white and black. And then also depending on the ivory, like if it was more of a tan color, tan and black would be more of a medium contrast. You could do tan and black.
Uh.
Yeah. So yeah, so definitely something to think about. How are we doing with time? It's 10 to 1. Okay, I wanted to just show you a couple things going on with the colors predicted for 2024, because as I mentioned, the peach fuzz is the quote color of the year. This is the peach fuzz right here, if you can see the arrow. These palettes were presented by Pantone, who is the color authority in the US, and they're actually based right in New Jersey. They came out with these 4 color palettes to show variations on the peach fuzz and also what you can combine them with. So yeah, so when you start your shopping for the spring, you should be seeing some of these colors in the store. You know, try them on, don't be shy. Always use good light when you're experimenting with different colors. Natural light is the best, but if you can't do that, just make sure that you have good light. And that's one of the problems I have with some of the fitting rooms in the stores, is that the light is just really, it's just either really glaring or unflattering. So sometimes you do have to take things home and try them on in your own environment to see how they really look. All right, we have about 10, you know, between 5 and 10 minutes left. I can go into a little bit about the meanings of colors if you like, or unless there's something else anybody has any questions on. And these meanings of colors aren't things that I just came up off the top of my head. They're pretty much universal feelings that these different colors evoke, and they show themselves through wardrobe, through accessories, through home decor, and also through corporate logos. So if you think about different corporate logos and what colors they are, you'll be able to figure out exactly what that company is trying to communicate. So for example, I'll start with blue, because a lot of the banks have their corporate logo is blue. So blue is known, gives you the feeling, at least, of being honest, trustworthy, hardworking, organized, peaceful, and it's a conservative color. It's a color that people feel they can trust. I mean, it's a good color to wear for business, especially if you are in banking or if you're in a field where others feel that they need to trust you, basically. Green is a color, it signifies the environment. It's also the color of money. Green can signify that you're dependable, nurturing. It may not be the most exciting color in the world, but it shows tenacity and self-reliance. Going across here to orange. Orange is more fun, it's joyful, enthusiastic, playful. If you think about corporate logos that are orange, maybe Nickelodeon, for those of us who have kids or grandkids, you know, Nickelodeon is the orange, is the fun look, innovative, and orange also signifies value consciousness. And color is a big part of branding. So I just have one more color slide. Black, you know, which we all know and love, presents drama, formality. Black is a good color if you need to lead a team or if you're giving a presentation. Black sets you apart, even though so many of us wear it a lot. It still does set you apart. It has a certain power and assertiveness to it. Purple is a regal color. It shows artistic details, imagination. It may brand you as an intuitive or sensitive, creative type. It's also unique because you don't see a tremendous lot of people wearing a lot of purple. I mean, it does show up, but it's not really one of the most common colors. Yellow is cheerful, energetic, shows hope, it's active, uninhibited. I mean, yellow is not the color to wear if you need to appear in a situation where you want to be taken seriously, but it is fun. It's a great color to wear when you go out or to a party, maybe to play sports. And then red, as we know, is an energy color. It's exciting. When you walk into a room wearing red, it gives you a lot of confidence. I mean, at least I find that for myself, if I go into a certain networking group, or if I'm, you know, if I'm going to be a speaker, red is just a good color to wear. It's a very energetic color. It shows passion, optimism, could be taken as brave, especially if you're walking into a room of people are wearing, you know, black and navy. But it could also be threatening in the sense that people don't always want to respect other people's power. So that's how it could be threatening. Just want to mention, we all do see color differently. Colors online appear different than those in person. Technology is helping keep color consistent across all platforms, and it's easier than ever to match colors from different formats. So if you ever want to take a picture of yourself matching in your living room, I think you'll be able to do that at some point in the future. And that is all I needed to talk about today. I'm happy to answer any questions. We have a couple minutes left. I hope we're all connected. For those of you who are a member of my Stunning Style Network group on Facebook, I'm so happy to have you there. If you're not, please take a look for it on Facebook. We don't have to be Facebook friends in order to be a member. And you can also message me and I'll send you an invitation for that. So thank you all so much for coming today. Anything else? Any other questions? I hope this, you know, inspires you to add some additional colors and experiment with colors in your wardrobe for the spring.